Hello and good afternoon. Welcome. This is In the Cards, and I am Joelle. I am the Viberarian, as I'm here to elevate, enlighten, and empower. That's what I'm doing for myself. And when I come on here, it is with the goal that something that I'm sharing with you will also help you as you are on your journey to enlighten, elevate, and empower yourself. This is my opportunity to talk all things cards. Now, if you've been around for a while, you know that I love Oracle divination. I'm a student of Tarot and all things connected to cartomancy. And when I am streaming, it's with the goal of sharing with you things from my collection, from my Oracle decks, and also wisdom and knowledge that I've gained along the years. So once a month, I am up at Holistic Health and Wellness, as you can see from this beautiful banner behind me. This is about our fourth or fifth stream. I love coming up here. I'm here on the third weekends of the month, and I have the opportunity to read for clients here and help with people who are shopping for cards with different advice and experiences that I have. And so today is time for our live stream of the month. So I have several people here who have joined me in the audience. Thank you to those of you who are on the stream. Thank you to my moderator. I see you. Appreciate it. Let's see here. We're going to show, hey, everybody. All right. So today is a big day. Now, Holistic has a lot of things going on. It's more than just a retail establishment. It is a community light hub. And when you come here, you're going to find things like singing bowls. You're going to find sound baths, yoga sessions, meditation sessions. I mean, it's just anything you want to be involved with. And today is a big day because we have not only just in the cards from 1 to 2, but this afternoon, come on here, Don, come on up here real quick. How are you? Welcome. Come on, Don. So this afternoon, there's an event right behind this starting at 2 o'clock. So Don, would you like to share what's coming up next? You still have time to make it. And if you don't today, come next time. All right.
So at 2 o'clock today, we actually have a shaman who is trained by the Peruvians. I may be saying it wrong, the Incas. And she is doing a despacho ceremony, which will be wonderful for the equinox. So if you are around, please come in. It is donation based. We are going to have a great time, celebrate, and move into fall with happiness and glee.
Yay. All right. Yeah. See, so there's always something going on, and I'm excited to be here. Now, being that is the equinox, let's talk a little bit about the equinox. Does anyone here in the audience have any familiarity with the equinox and the energies in terms of our ancestral perspectives? Go ahead. You said you know?
A little bit. Yeah, I've been listening to a ton of podcasts lately about the shifting season to try to understand the energetics of it. And equinox meaning like equal day and night. So
Yes. It's
finding the balance in life.
the balance, yes, the balance of birth and death, light and dark, all of those things. As we know, from this point, the days will be getting shorter until we enter the solstice and begin our rise and ascent back from the dark night of and rebirth cycle. So we got more people coming in. Wonderful. All right. So in terms of my experience with the equinox. A few years ago, I went down to Mexico for a period of time, several months. I was living there, and I got an opportunity to go to Chichen Itza, which is one of the seven wonders of the world, of the New World. And it is deemed that because on the equinox, it has been constructed with such mathematical precision that a phenomenon comes down the side of the Grand Pyramid of Kukulkan, the feathered serpent god either descending, bringing in the harvest, or rising with the energy to seed to make the harvest, right? So the fact that something was constructed so many hundreds of years ago, that when the sun rises, it like literally hits this hole and shines out, says that this was something super significant that was carved into the rock and the living structure of those who were alive at that time. And so then it reaches forward to us as a visible thing to say, hey, you might want to pay attention to this, right? So today I thought it would be great to bring my Mayan Oracle of Light. Now, one of the things that I shared with you all is that I have hundreds of decks. And to me, they're like library books because each of them gives me an opportunity to learn more about a subject, with spirit being the conduit, a connection to help use this device to communicate to me things that I have no awareness about. I don't know Mayan symbols. I have a very good friend who's Mayan, who has taught me all the things that I know about that structure and the people at that time. But having a divination tool like this is just amazing because I have a chance to learn more about myself through someone else's cultural perspective. So today, the decks that I brought to read with are the Mayan Oracle, a galactic language of light. And also then the Moonology deck. This is a popular deck. You've probably seen it out. You'll find in my collection, I have a lot of the regular tool decks, but the decks like the Mayan language, you're not necessarily going to see those around. And one thing I can say about I shop at Dawn's a lot because she has a great balance of decks that no one ever seen before. I think I picked up 4 last month that last time, Dawn, I'm trying to find her. I know I bought at least 3 or 4 decks last month that she brought back from some of her travels and things like that. So the last one will be from the Oracle of Portals, because if we look at these markers of time and space and the stars, we're clearly moving from something to something else as we pass into through this equalization energy. So I thought we'd see what the portals, what the moon, also because we had the eclipse. And it was in Pisces. Am I correct? And was it full moon in Pisces? And then we had a partial eclipse in it. So Pisces, of course, is the underworld, the death and rebirth cycle. So it's very interesting because coming up behind, we'll have then the solar eclipse in Aries, I believe, on the 2nd of October. So if we're talking about things eclipsing, that's a big balancing out. Like the things that we need to leave are those things that have the scales tipped. So like going ahead and allowing those processes to die and to resolve and to enter the cycle of reduction, as we'll see as the leaves fall off the trees and it gets colder. Like, let's go ahead and let those energies do their job. So let's see what spirit guidance has for us. Any questions? Any comments? Okay, so we're going to start with the Maya deck, and I'm going to get 2 cards. Think about a deck like this. Let me just say also, this is not what I consider an everyday reading deck where I'm checking in to have my daily kind of what's up. This is one of those I want to do some work. And I found that this book I haven't even read the whole thing, but I always tried to read at least the front material and matter so I can have a good understanding of things. But it's not like I had to go to school to learn to use this deck. But something like this is really valuable because when you need to do a deep dive for yourself, then you can sit and read a chapter or two, kind of connect the dots. This deck actually has cards that are in different fragments, just to show you a few of how they look. Some are number glyphs, some are symbols, and others are portals themselves. So it's the whole system that they kind of talk to you about how to use it. Now, I know how to then use the tool as they say it, but just like a hammer, we learn how to do different things with a hammer than what the manual says the hammer can do. So don't ever be afraid to step out of a structured teaching and begin to use the tool on your own. So I'm going to draw today. We're going to just modify it and do our own reading and draw a 2-card pull to see what the equinox teaching from the Mayan comes through. And we'll also be looking at the pyramid because that structure of the foundations, right? Like Chichen Itza is a squared form. So we're looking at base upon base upon base upon base. So we are literally ascending in frequency, just like that Kukulkan coming up and down. So there's something having to do with ancestral foundations is coming in very, very strong right now. So. People always say, I don't know how to shuffle. Is there a right way to shuffle? That's another thing. It's really for yourself. You know, like do whatever it is you need to do to trust that spirit is really talking. That's all the shuffling is. It's like, oh, if the card didn't pop out, it wasn't meant. If that's what makes you feel like the card was spirit talking to you, then by all means, do that thing. So I'm one of those loosey-goosey teachers where and I think that's part of the Aquarian energy of this age. We're not moving into domesticated structures of, how are you? Okay. Of things. We're moving out of that and expanding onward. So here we go. Welcome, welcome. All right. We have, dissonance. Dissonance, dissonatia. All right. All right. And I'm going to leave the bottom card. I don't want to even peek at it yet because I want to see where the message goes before we compound it. It's always interesting to see if it echoes what we're talking about. So give me a moment here. But like if you're talking about the energy of dissonance, anyone want to talk anything, share anything about dissonance in the now moment? Okay, yes. Hey.
So, hey, oddly enough, we were having a conversation earlier today talking about some of the tensions in the air. And dissonance was the word I was searching for 2 minutes that I could not remember. And as soon as it popped up, it's dissonance. So it's just an odd occurrence, like just 30 minutes ago.
I love that, right? Because Spirit always affirms for us the things that we're working with are actually what we're hearing. It's like you're not imagining it. Yes. And dissonance is interesting because as a musician, dissonance is a useful tool because the release of that tension where the harmonies aren't quite right, and then when you resolve into the full chord, that can make you cry in a song when it's got you at that right moment before the teardrop, and then it all of a sudden becomes harmonious. So that tension, there's a tension in dissonance too. It can be helpful and harmful. So I'm pretty sure we're dealing with a lot of unhelpful dissonance at this particular time. So in this deck, it is 11. And these are the Mayan glyphs for the counting system, which, as we know, our foundation of number expression comes from Mayan symbols of the dots and dashes. So stripped down to essence, narrow marrow of light. Beyond definition, your soul takes flight. The qualities are change, disintegration, letting go, stripping away, complexity moving to simplicity, innovator, and system buster. 11 is the ray of dissonance. The foundation is self combined with the foundation of essence self, catalyzed by the point of unity. 11 is the process of disintegration, stripping away the layers down to your core essence. Unity, the great illuminator, is transforming patterns and structures, freeing you from things that no longer serve your emerging wholeness. Look through the surface appearance of your process. Let complexity dissipate, becoming the blessing of simplicity. In drawing 11, cherished ideals, beliefs, and images of all kinds are being brought up for you to re-examine, illuminate, and transform. Examine what appears dissonant in your life. Let go. Embrace the disintegration process without resisting or judging it. The rigid walls of your resistances are being broken down. Going through your resistances and boundaries prepares a space for greater wisdom. You are becoming an open system. If you have drawn this card, you're being called to be an innovator, a system buster, and an agent for change. Anything that is overdefined or inflexible is fair game for change. Likewise, anything that presently defines and limits you is being stripped away. Expect clearing and change. As your facade crumbles and your walls come rumbling down, the true illumination of self bursts through. Wow, that is powerful energy right there. There's a card that I'll show you. This is the other beautiful thing is that you don't have to draw a card to be able to go to a card and use its guidance. So what my guides do is show me images from movies, TVs. That's called clairvoyance. When you see a little movie or picture, or you hear a song that you think is, that's clairaudience. But in this case, and it's talking about burning down this deck, this tarot deck. Tarot is a system, and the artists basically go in and create their versions of the system's representations. Tarot is different from oracle. You got to kind of understand a little bit about tarot and the systems and numerology and elemental essences. It's not overly hard. Like everybody starts clicking around and listening to readings and you kind of become informed. But oracle is so much more freeing. It's like the evolution of the tarot in that, as they said, it becomes an open system where you can use it without knowing anything about it. So just pause here. Okay. In this deck, the Justice, she is burning down like the halls of justice where there's injustice. This is like gives you all the 70s militarism and the powerism that was emerging. It talked in here about the flames emerging from anything that divine is limited. And it says something about an agent for change. And I think it says something about flame in here, which is why it made me think of this card. So resistance to change, breaking down the systems, and the call is ever towards justice. And justice at its core is in love. It's not economic justice. It's not there. Everything underneath it is love justice. That's the frequency. It's not about any other thing to say, an eye for an eye or tooth for a tooth. That's the old paradigm that we are breaking down to stand in. And the dissonance of that is hard because we have a system that says, well, if this gets that, then it's unjust for me, but that's okay because there's more of us on this side than there were of you, right? That's all the bargaining things that we're doing. That's not the unification that says we all will receive that. And most of us just don't believe that it can happen because we look at the outside world around us. But we're challenged here then to take away our own beliefs and our thoughts that are preventing the manifestation of a less dissonant kind of the disintegration, so to speak. Okay, so let us see what is on the bottom here. Okay, this is ick. This must be, okay, this is not a portal card because it would have been purple. So I don't even know what it is. We'll find out together here. So it feels very, with the squareness, it brings in the feeling of masculine structure versus feminine flow. So I'm assuming there's some kind of energy with that. And the other thing is, when you first are contemplating something, there's no right interpretation. Whatever it says to you, you know, if you think it looks like a panda bear and its nose in the middle for some reason, or if it looks like a robot, you like, it's like a Rorschach test. I mean, the psychiatrists have already figured it out that people can figure out things by what an ink spot looks like. So we certainly could use oracle cards to figure out what something looks like too. So Eek is air and wind. The quality is spirit, breath, wind, inspiration, the presence, truth, co-creation of reality, simplicity, unseen forces, integration of polarities, focused intent. The symbol is the spiral, whirlwind, and the hawk. The number is 2, which is polarity. Hello. The color is translucent white light. The herb is eucalyptus, self-heal. The flowers are white chrysanthemum, baby's breath, and lily. Red ginger flower essence. The scents are copal and sweet grass. Stones are Herkimer diamond, quartz, clear quartz, and Quetzalcoatl cross. I've never heard of that stone before. The element is air. The direction is north. When this energy is in a shadow, it is choosing to see oneself as a victim rather than taking responsibility for creating one's reality. Doubting your connection to divinity, issues of separation, or thinking you are separate from spirit. How to transform this: learn to sense and experience your connection with the divine by acting on inspiration as it comes to you. The harmonic wisdom is that of the interval. The meditation is, I am the fertilizing and loamy force of the cosmic wind. I am the fertilizing and loamy force of the cosmic wind. I have to look up loamy. I'm sorry, the librarian in me will not let a word go by that I don't understand. Does anybody know what loamy is? I don't. Never heard that word before. It must be rich in nutrients or something. Relating to fertile soil or clay that contains humus. A moist and well-drained loamy soil. Okay, so we're needing to become something that is fertile and ready, and moist is like our emotions, our waters, like become ready to host something that we're going to be birthing forward. And the affirmation is, I am the unified presence of spirit. And it says, the unbridled bird knows freedom by soaring on the updraft. Open to the breath of spirit so that you can be guided and inspired. Awaken to the unseen that already infuses your experience. Amidst the seeming complexity, simply stop and breathe. Simplify. Slow down. Grasping and holding on will only slow your growth process. Move in honesty and truth. Consider whether your choices derive from the movement of spirit or from the constriction of unconscious beliefs and limiting definitions. Be as guileless and spontaneous as the wind. Move with the currents of change that are being offered. Embrace the unseen forces that move to guide, inspire, and assist you. You are being quickened. Remember that you and spirit are co-creating your reality. Be inspired. Know that your heart's dreams are animated by the presence of the divine breath. Stop for a moment and feel this presence. Presence is the potent indwelling of spirit within you. Be open, aware, and present. By simply being, your true identity and presence emanate naturally. In your present situation, allow yourself to be seen as you truly are. You are being asked to be aware of the polarities within you, to create a unified field of your full presence. There is tremendous power in the recognition of your wholeness. Open in this moment to the vitalizing currents of spirit that flow through you. I receive that. I absolutely receive that. Okay, I'm going to read the poem at the end here. It's beautiful. It says, it says, the magical child. I am Eek, spirit's fire, breath of life, Apollo's lyre. Spark ablaze in cherished flight, all I touch, I do ignite. I am knowing, spirit flowing, fire filling, form with light. I am the brilliant crystalline core, as cosmic breath I dance and soar. Life's essence infusing time and space, arousing creation with tender grace. Revelation of the beloved's face, mystic reunion divine. As I billow into Divine Mother's silken sails, we feel the spiral dance with forms unveiled that awaken the dazzling light upon the face of creation. All I do, I arouse upon the shimmering crest of my graceful descent. Breathe deeply of the pervasive presence. Feel its exhilaration. I ignite the circuitry of your potential. I mirror the potency of your presence, the completion of your polarity. I am the frequency of unseen forces through which, in this moment, reality courses. Hear me laughing as wind through the trees. See me moving mighty ocean waves in rapturous vortices. All I touch, I stir into celebration in honor of spirit, divine elevation. As galactic solar wind, I am knowing, dancing as the one. Power purifying, I arise. I am inspiration as it flies. Let me lift you, free you, fill you. I carry the very breath of heaven upon my windy wings, enfolding you with the sweetest song simplicity can sing. I received that guidance. This is one of the reasons why I love a tool like this, because it can prompt like a very deep revelation in just a few pages of words. It's a deep packet. So we're going to keep on going, and we're going to get the moon energy here. First of all, I want to see what it says about the full moon in Pisces as a reference, because I don't know a lot about it. So let's inform. Balance, spirituality, and practicality. Okay, we're back to the balance again, right? Have you been so head in the clouds that you've lost touch reality? If so, this card is a sign that you need to pay attention and make a concerted effort to move towards your goals. The more practical steps you can take, the better. It's time to find an inner balance between your responsibilities and your dreams. Meditate on your questions, and solutions to your issue may now come through very clearly. If you're in a tricky situation because you've been acting the martyr, this card will be a message from the cosmos to drop the act for everyone's sake. All right, it says Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac, so the full moon symbolically marks endings. When the moon is full in Pisces, or whenever this card comes up, it's time to dive deep into your emotions. Practicality is at odds with the numinous. Piscean energies that have no borders, so feel your way now. Psychic ability is heightened when the full moon is in Pisces and soulmates now connect. It's also time to send out your dreams to the universe, releasing your fears. That's a potent time. Like if we know that anything that we're seeding now is going to be lifted by the updraft of spirit and infused with extra energy to assist with the rebalancing, like hold the highest idea. We don't have to hold it for long. It could be just 5 minutes, right? Before the world back intrudes into it. But if we can just hold that pinpoint now 0 point moment of seeding the thought energy form for a balanced, unified, harmonious polarity, it can happen a lot easier now than what it was. So let me see here. Would you mind coming and pull a card from here for the moon deck from us? Yes, yeah, have a seat real quick. We're going to have you pull our moon card for us. Wonderful. I hope you don't mind. Are you okay? Great. Here we go. So we're going to have you select our Moonology card and see what other influences want to come up to our awareness. The moon is about our hidden emotional world, our inner self. Okay, let's go. Uh-oh, they're stuck. When they're stuck for a little while, I do take it. All right. Huh. What's it say? Can you? Oh, let me not make you put your readers on.
It says step out of your comfort zone.
The North Node. Step out of your comfort zone. Any astrologers in the room, Marietta? Are you an astrologer? The North Node. What is the North Node in the archetype? Like, there's the journey of the North and the South Node. We're all kind of going through the similar ones at this.
Like our direction in this life.
I think so. Maybe. Oh well, maybe we'll learn more about it. But okay. So, and isn't this kind of like Leo? Is this the? I think this is the glyph for the Leo symbol. Again, I'm not granular in my astrology, so all right. I'm not going to even show the next card yet because we want to see what stepping out of our comfort zone. Hey, I'm all for that because the comfort zone. What do we call it? Maladaptive. Isn't that what the doctor says? If you've injured yourself and you've learned to walk with a gimp, you know what I'm saying? Because you have like an injury that you haven't resolved, you've made a maladaptive thing that will have a problem later because your hip is going to wear out on the side where you've been stressing it. So we definitely have, it hurts to go through physical therapy sometimes. It takes an external physical therapist kind of sometimes to push us to go ahead and stress the body when it's in a pain state. A good physical therapist is going to do that in a balanced way. A bad one is going to blow past your obvious over discomfort. And fortunately, spirit is our guide in this whole rehabilitation thing. So we're not going to be pushed out of what we can't handle in terms of our pain body as we begin to move into a better and different way of being. So let's see here. Oh, here is the last card in the whole deck. There's a strong feeling when you get this card that it's time to leave the past behind somehow because you are headed in the right direction. If you want to be happy and fulfilled, you need to get going towards doing the thing that scares you most within reason. This card is all about living your life purpose, which is possibly what you've asked about. It's urging you to dare to do something different with your life and your direction, to take action. So are you willing to follow through and lead the life you incarnated to live? If you finally find the courage to make the leap, there's a good chance you'll come to ask yourself, why did I wait so long? And the attune to the moon is, I know that I'm headed in the right direction. The teaching is that the north node is where the moon crosses the ecliptic going north. It's a karmic point, and on the horoscope chart, it shows us what we need to do and where we need to go with our life to find satisfaction, fulfillment, and happiness. The north node is the karmic astrological point that reminds us, to paraphrase Andre Gide, that in order to discover new oceans, we have to be prepared to lose sight of the shore. Now, the beautiful part about this is that on my Facebook page, my banner is Andre Gide with that exact phrase that says, and it shows a dock leading out into the water. And when I adopted that was when I left my corporate job early. I didn't know what I was going to do, but I knew I couldn't keep doing what I was doing because it was not healthy for me. And I was tired of my superpowers being used for harm and not for good. And I went to Mexico, right? Did something different as a single person, left, went out, lived in the jungle. Yeah, like I didn't live in the jungle, but I lived down there and did ayahuasca in the jungle. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I got out of my comfort zone. And also by doing so, it got my whole circle. My parents were out of their comfort zone, right? Think of all the times when we've broken a barrier, done something, maybe got a job, entered the workforce, left the workforce, had a child, like all kinds of things that made other people have to adjust their comfort zone as well. It's a ripple effect of expansion that all we really do still is have to worry about our own, and we don't have to worry about who is impacted by it. It will organically be happening. So this is beautiful. All right, let's see what else you have here. New moon in Aries. Isn't that what's coming up? Is we're the new moon in Aries. I love that. It's time to take action. I love it. That's the other thing is like it's fun to have spirit like so clearly. It's not a game of chance and random card foolery. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay. I love that. All right. New moon in Aries on 42. All right. The flame is lit. Oh, the flame is lit. A wonderful new start beckons and you're on the right track. Another affirmation. Drawing this card is a superbly positive sign if there's something you want to happen in your life it is a positive sign if there is something you want to happen in your life. Take this card as a big yes from the universe. This is the time to really tune into your dreams. You may still have a long way to go. After all, Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, but you are on your way. Determination, self-assertion, and bravery are called for, but the hot fire of Aries is driving you towards success in whatever endeavor you are asking about. The caution, don't go too fast and forget your manners. Treat people well as you charge toward your goals. You'll create much better karma for yourself. In attuning to the moon, it says, don't even think about giving up. Don't even think about it. Do your best, be happy with that. Avoid being brash right now, and you may need to make a 12-month plan. It's a new seed. The teaching is that Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, so the new moon is the first day of the 12 or 13 new moons of the year. If you're committed to working with all the lunations, then the new moon in Aries is the right time to start, and drawing this card, no matter when it is, signifies that it is also the ideal time to start your moon work, such as setting intentions. And I'm sure Don will have something here because you do moon work, you do moon sound bath. So if we know this is an eclipse, this is October 2nd, we've got all of October. This is big month, right? That's big energy. These flames, all this, I'm feeling very, very excited. All right. So the last card, thank you. Thank you so much. The last card we're going to get here. How are we looking on? Oh, good. We're doing good on time. We're trying to wrap a little bit early so we can all get over for the celebration for the rest of the day. But The Oracle of Portals. We're going to look and see what layer wants to be added to our message. We got flames of fire coming up in the chat room from the chatters as well. Yes, I love this because it's like the embodiment of the feminine and masculine, right? It's an empowered badass, right? All the femininity and the strength and the power, and then in a masculine posture with the sword. Like, we're in that embodiment of merging the two, right, into ourselves. So I think that's a pretty cool card. Tonya, would you come draw this one? Yes. I appreciate all of you being here. This is wonderful. So, all right, we're going to move through this portal. Portal of time and energy rebalancing. All right.
It's right there. Come on. This one. There.
Okay, that one. All right. Oh, look at that. Other world. Look, it's under the moonlight. It's very, very interesting. It's like, okay, so this is, okay, so it looks like a yoni or a birth canal in a way. We have the moon, so that's speaking to, again, that lunar influence, going into other dimensions and places. I actually just this week, so one of the things I'm binge watching on is Doctor Who, which is, of course, about a time traveling person from another planet. And interestingly, the episode was about a portal to a shadow version of Earth that had opened up in a mirror, and it dropped them out in this forest that was on this kind of gray and dark fragmented version of Earth. And there was somebody lost in there, and they were trying to help reconnect them back into the proper version of Earth. Right? So if we're trying to be encouraged to manifest the proper version of Earth, where the abundance that's natural, that all the flow that's inherently meant to be coded into this infinite expression, if we're in like a shadow, lesser version of that reality, like moving into that other world, to pull it forward to be our primary version versus living in the shadow version is kind of what I'm getting with that there. So let's see. Will you hold that? Wonderful. Thank you. Was it 21?
21.
The other world is beckoning. Spirit or a spirit or spirits on the other side is communicating with you or trying to. There is nothing to fear or shy away from. Bravely gazing into the other world portal is a vital aspect of your magic and personal power. This could be validating that you are a natural medium and that mediumship is something you will enjoy pursuing. Or it could be telling you that a loved one or ancestor on the other side has been trying to get your attention. It could also be alerting you that there's a stuck or unhappy energy in your home that would benefit from receiving your assistance with crossing into the light. If none of these messages seem to resonate, or if you're not certain why you've drawn this card, you can make contact with the other world directly to learn whatever the spirits want you to know. All right, it says light a candle on your altar, light some copal or sweetgrass, which is interesting because that came up in the Mayan one. Those were the exact two instances. So if we're talking about our ancestors, the Mayan energies, the otherworldly, you're getting something?
Yeah.
What'd you say? You get ready to...
Oh, no, I'm just like, I'm surprised, like, again, that there's a similarity. Like, I'm not surprised, but it's just encouraging when you have like synchronicity.
Yeah, it is. It's amazing. Right? So, okay. So one of the things we know is that in the otherworld or the ancestor indigenous times, the harmony with nature was much more of the way. Nature, the rain, the sky, the animals, gratitude for the gift of the life and the continued sustenance. So if the energy that's trying to come through is through the Mayan, through Chichen Itza, through the archaeological record, through the writings that we're finding, and these things that are saying return to the way, return to harmony. That's what's coming through here for me. It says, like copal or sweetgrass, call on the divine in a way that feels powerful for you, perhaps invoking Archangel Michael to surround you in a sphere of protective golden white light. Ask that only positive and loving energies enter that sphere. Then close your eyes, take deep breaths, and center your mind. Then open your consciousness to whoever is present on the other side. Ask who's there. When you see a face in your mind's eye or connect with a name or presence, ask what the spirit would like to communicate. What do they want you to know? In what way would they like you to assist? If you feel guided, perform a space clearing on your home, invoke the divine and one or more of the angelic or spirit helpers of your choice. Ask for support in helping any stuck or wayward energies to the light. Open all the windows and doors and let the outside in. Light your copal and move around to each room and area in your home in a counterclockwise direction. If your incense isn't already on a plate, be sure to hold it to catch any burning embers, then extinguish the incense and let it burn down. Thank the divine helpers you've invoked and close the doors and any windows, and rest assured that you have access to whatever wisdom you need to know. Relax, tune into your intuition, and take action as you are guided. Okay, so the sweet grass and opening my windows, that is happening tonight when I get home for me. Well, clear the space out, right? If there's any dissonant energies that are revealing to self. And I could tell you, when my mind is at rest, I got some dissonant energies at work that pop in, right? And the more we think about, and me and my colleagues sit and think about these things, the more embodied it becomes. That becomes a thought form, that becomes an energetic thing. We created something out of this continued talking about the dissonant energy. So that's as simple and non-scary, right? As we're talking about, when you get into mediumship, it's like, oh, that's a whole different ball of wax, right? But it's still, mediumship at its most is acting something that acts in the middle between a message for spirit, be it angel, guardian, ancestor, guide. And as long as you're setting your caller ID on your phone, I don't take spam callers. That's just my energetic principle. So if you're trying to psychically get my attention, I don't take spam callers, right? So interesting, because Archangel Michael has what? His sword of truth. And he's always there in terms of, they always say, call on him when you're needing and feeling you need a shoring of protection. So here we have another sword, truth, in front of the halls of justice information. So where are you going to need to call on that protective energy as you work through this releasing and letting go? So that is a big download. This is a big download. So I don't know if anyone has anything to share or say as we wrap up, but this is how In the Cards is, and this is basically how my own spiritual conversations go. And it's nice for me because I get to just experience it with you all instead of pestering all my friends and saying, you should see this reading. Oh my gosh, we got to do so, because we're all in this collective, we're all getting the same messages in our own way. And when we come together, we're just simply affirming dissonance. Wow, it was on the tip of my tongue. And it's like the fact that Spirit created that pause so that 2 hours later, it marked in your computer record, your great brain record, a moment to leave the breadcrumb. So, we're doing that all the time, even back to the ancestors' time. So anyway, this has been In the Cards, and I thank all of you. I'm going to end my live stream. Thank you, everyone who is here for all the comments and your support for the Good Vibe Tribe. And we'll see you next week on In the Cards on Wednesday. I am going to have like 6 different moon decks: lunar astrology, moonology, and we're going to talk to the moon some more. And I'll show you some of my other decks in my special collection on Wednesday night and In the Cards. So namaste, everyone.